I trimmed my beard for you guys tonight.
Alright, it's called The Astronaut's Funeral. I don't know why no one wants to talk about it. It's called aerodynamic heating. It's actually really well understood. Accidents happen. Accidents just happen. These re-entry spacecraft have heat shields on them that are made out of aluminum, and the aluminum is covered with layers and layers of glass fiber, and as you approach Mach 20, the heat increases and increases, and those layers and layers just start to sublimate. Sublimate, like, it's so hot that all those layers of glass fiber go from being solid straight to being a gas. And that's what happened to our brother. Accidents happen.
Well, thank you for that, brother of mine. That was very informative. I still don't understand why you felt the need to begin explaining all of that to our mother at our brother's funeral. However, are you drunk?
No. I stayed up all night drinking, but I'm not drunk now.
And smoking, to be sure?
Yeah, smoking, to be sure.
Well, if you're not drunk, then why did you throw up in the punch bowl?
Grief upsets my stomach, I guess.
And for the love of God, why are you wearing that tank top? And why did you get that stupid tattoo? Let's see this from Mom's perspective for a minute here, okay? Her son, our brother the astronaut, dies in a fire, and her youngest son decides that it's prudent to show off his new tattoo of a flaming astronaut in a pink spacesuit at the funeral. Does that strike you as thoughtful?
I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from, but as I've explained to you, he didn't technically die in a fire. He sublimated. And he was my brother, too, and I happen to love him. He taught me a lot of things, you know.
Like what, how to roll a joint with your toes?
Like how to be a person, smart guy. Like he taught me, well, this isn't really something he taught me, but it's something I learned from him, and I think about it a lot. It was after he landed on that comet. He came to visit me in New York. I hadn't seen him for at least 2 years. He'd been in space for months, so I was able to convince him to go out and, you know, paint the town red with me and all that.
Let me guess, you drugged our brother, the astronaut.
We ate a couple hash brownies, okay? I think that's hardly worth calling a DEA over. Anyway, like I said, he'd just gotten back from that comet, so we get on the subway, and I'm not kidding, every adult on that train was reading about him. Every newspaper, magazine, e-reader, laptop, our brother's picture was on it. You know that one where he's standing between Ted and that woman astronaut with the nice ass, and they're all in the little spacesuits grinning that cheesy grin? So he's facing the corner, losing his mind, you know, super paranoid that all these people are going to recognize him any second and just swarm him or something. Needless to say, in his state, he was not excited at the prospect.
He never did like crowds, but did he freak out?
Not one person on that train recognized him. I saw a guy look right at him and not recognize him. People were expecting a cartoon character in a spacesuit, something they could either sympathize with or learn to despise. And so it just kind of hit me that people don't want to see reality. They want to see what fits into the categories of which they're already aware. You know, black, white, man, woman, gay, straight, astronaut, civilian, up, down. Although I guess astronauts don't care so much about up, down. The point being that other people don't perceive you as a person, they treat you as a set of their own perceptions, or preconceptions, which in a way means there is no you or me. We're all fictions, we're all inventions of ourselves. And in a sense that's incredibly liberating because there are no restrictions set on fictional characters. We really are free to be, do, say anything. And that's what our brother taught me.
I should point out that you're doing a really terrible job of explaining the tattoo.
Right, sorry. It's actually pretty simple. I just wanted to think of him as, well, now I'm just thinking about snakes.
I knew it, you're high.
I told you, I'm hungover. I'm thinking about the snake that Karen had in college when we first moved in together. Do you remember it? The one she used on modeling jobs, the big python?
Yes. I remember that. I only came to that house once.
Yeah, people were put off by it. When Karen got pregnant, she got rid of it. She kept waking up from nightmares of it eating the baby in what she referred to as sinister peristaltic gulps. I think that ended up in one of her poems.
You two really were a lot alike, but it's awfully dark.
I suppose so. We never had that baby anyway, so really it's not dark or light. It describes something that never happened. Things that never happen live in eternal shadow, as they say.
No one says that. You're talking about a snake.
Right. Well, Karen would feed that snake every 2 weeks a cute little bunny rabbit. She had to take the snake out of its tank, put it in a separate container, and let it do its nefarious deed. It took about half an hour for the snake to swallow its food, so Karen decided that every time she fed him... No, her, yeah, that snake's name was Clarice. Anytime she fed Clarice, she would write a poem, so that at the end of the year she would have 26 poems. She planned to call them the Forked Tongue Cantatas, which I thought was an excellent name. Then she decided that she would write an extra poem in the sequence every time Clarice shed her skin, and those poems would be for the skin, and they were usually about death or rebirth. You know, sloughing off the old self. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this tattoo is basically a poem for the skin.
That's a terrible pun, and you're a terrible person. And my brother and I love you, so I'll go try to calm Mom down. But one more thing, why is the spacesuit pink?
No reason. I just like pink. Nice! Thanks, Walker! Fucking awesome.